Hey everyone, I've got a couple of updates to talk to you about this evening. We're going to start with the first one. This is going to be a motion to continue. Who didn't see that one coming? This is the state of Florida as the plaintiff versus Stephan Michael Sterns, the defendant. It is a motion to continue. It reads, comes now the defendant, Stephan Michael Sterns, by and through the undersigned attorney, pursuant to Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.190F, and moves this court to enter its order granting a continuance of the above styled clause. As grounds in support of this motion, the defendant would show 1. That pretrial conference is scheduled to be heard on February 12, 2025 at 9 a.m. That's tomorrow. 2. That additional time is needed in order to prepare this case for trial. 3. That the initial set of depositions are scheduled for March 4th, 2025. 4. That an evidence viewing is scheduled for March 24th, 2025. 5. That the remaining set of depositions are scheduled for April 10th, 2025. 6. The defense has filed several motions to suppress that are pending, requesting hearing time. 7. That speedy trial in this case has previously been waived. 8. That this motion is filed in good faith and not for the purpose of delay. 9. That the state does not object this motion to continue. Emphasis on does not. And 10, the defense would request this case to be set for a status date as to the scheduling of the defense's pending motions hearing or pretrial conference date, what would allow for the completion of these items. Wherefore, the defendant moves this court to enter its order granting a continuance in the above styled cause. And it's signed Melissa Vickers. The most important thing about this document is number 9. The state does not object to this motion to continue. That tells us that this is going to be granted. They will get their continuance. I can almost bet money on it. Since they mentioned depositions, let's go ahead and pull up the newest list of depositions. I will work on getting a video out going over the witness statements that started the depositions as soon as I can. These are all coming from the officers involved in the case. So this is, again, the state of Florida versus Stephan Michael Sterns. It reads, comes now the defendant herein named above, by and through the undersigned attorney, and herewith give notice of the taking of depositions of the below listed individuals for the office of the public defender, 9th Judicial Circuit, Courthouse Square, and it gives the address in Kissimmee, Florida, at the below indicated time. On March 4th at 1:30 p.m., they want to talk to Detective Moore. March 4th, 1:45 p.m., they want to talk to Detective Smallwood. March 4th, 2025 at 2 p.m., they want to talk to Deputy Joseph. March 4th, 2025, 2:20 p.m. is Junko. And then March 4th, 2025, 2:40 p.m. is Janik. Please be governed accordingly. And then it says, I do certify that a good faith effort has been made to coordinate the date, time, and location of said positions in accordance to the schedules and parties and witnesses, and that a copy or copies hereof have been filed with the clerk of court through the e-portal. A copy of the foregoing has been e-served to the office of the state attorney on the 4th day of February 2025, and it was signed by Melissa Vickers, the public defender. Now let's talk about Mr. Italo real quick. I tried to pull this up on StreamYard, but it's glitchy, so I'm just going to screen record it and react to it this way. This is going to be WKMG giving us more information that I don't have on Italo Brett, and after this, I'll read to you the documents that have been entered in his case.
But first, a teacher facing a federal judge this morning accused of enticing kids to commit sex acts online in return for Roblox money. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
If you have not seen that yet, please go watch the first video I did on Italo Brett. It gives you the documents, it breaks down the case, and everything going on so far.
Crystal Moyer, Bridget, and Justin are off today. 25-year-old Italo Bonini is facing a charge of enticing a minor. He was arrested by the FBI last Wednesday after they say he tried to get 2 8-year-old boys to commit sex acts online in return for Roblox money. News 6's Angie Casada just got out of federal court where Bonini asked a judge to be released from jail.
So I have those documents, and I will read them to you after we get done reviewing this segment from the news.
Yeah, the federal judges denied the bond for Bonini, saying that he has to remain in custody as his case moves forward. But some startling new details on this investigation. Prosecutors revealed today that, of course, this investigation is still ongoing, but there's 700 chats on Discord that they're still evaluating, with a potential of allegedly 20 more victims that they're looking into. And
He was in 700 different chats on Discord, and there's a potential of 20 more child victims. I wonder if any of the victims are in the photos from the first video. I'm greatly concerned for the children that were getting private lessons from him. Keep in mind, this was Madeline's chorus teacher. Is there anything going on at the school? Heaven forbid.
Other detail that we learned, a student from the middle school will be coming in for an interview this week in regards to not only being a student in that middle school, but also a private client of Bonini's when it comes to music lessons. 25-year-old Italo Bonini.
Well, that answers our question right there. How utterly disgusting. And remember, this man said that he fell into temptation. That this is not something that he does. Again, check out the first video if you want to hear that. He said he fell into temptation. You saw the videos of him in the church. He was a very active member of the church. Y'all, I am greatly concerned.
He was taken into custody last week after authorities say they linked him to online chats with 2 children in Maryland. Court documents revealed he used the video game Roblox to make initial contact before moving the conversation to Discord, a popular chat platform. Investigators say he promised the boys Robux, the in-game currency, in exchange for sexual images. During the search of his home, federal agents say Bonini admitted to communicating with children online, telling investigators they were, quote, easier to talk to.
Why is it that these predators always say they talk to children because they're, quote, easier to talk to? I don't understand that. I don't think a child is easier to talk to than an adult. What do you mean, sir? I'll never understand that statement.
Individual will not be returning to school during the investigation.
Parents finding out about the arrests in a phone call with an assurance Bonini will remain off the job no matter what happens in court.
Please be assured that we take all allegations very seriously, as the safety of our students and staff is always my top priority.
Parents we spoke to off camera said they were shocked to hear a teacher was involved, calling it a wake-up call to closely monitor their children's online interactions.
Keep in mind, he's not the first teacher. Well, I guess he's not the first staff member of Hunters Creek Middle School to be involved in some things like this. The secretary was recently called out a few months back. How many people are predators at the school that Madeline was at? What is going on in Kissimmee?
And prosecutors added that Bonini may face deportation if convicted due to his citizenship status. Bonini faces a minimum of 10 years in federal prison if convicted. Reporting at the federal courthouse, Angie Casaba getting results, News 6.
And the documents on Mr. Bonini. Let's see what they say. So this first one is the United States District Court, Middle District of Florida, Orlando Division, United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini. This is an order of detention pending trial. In accordance with the Bail Reform Act 18 U.S.C. Section 3142F, a detention hearing has been held. The following facts and circumstances require the defendant to be detained pending trial. No condition or combination of conditions of release will reasonably assure the safety of any other person and the community. This conclusion is based on the findings and analysis of the matters enumerated in 18 U.S.C. Section 3142 subsection G, as stated on the record in open court at the detention hearing. It says directions regarding detention. The defendant is committed to the custody of the Attorney General or his designated representative for confinement in a correction facility separate to the extent practicable from persons awaiting or serving sentences or being held in custody pending appeal. The defendant should be afforded a reasonable opportunity for private consultation with defense counsel. On order of a court of the United States or on request of an attorney for the government, the person in charge of the corrections facility shall deliver the defendant to the United States Marshal for the purpose of an appearance in connection with a court proceeding. And that was dated February 10th, 2025, yesterday. Signed, Leslie Hoffman Price, the United States Magistrate Judge. Here is the second document. Let me make it bigger. It is the United States District Court, Middle District of Florida, Orlando Division, and this is the clerk's minutes. Tells us the case number The Honorable Leslie Hoffman Price is the judge, United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini. The court reporter was digital. The time that they were in court was 10:04 a.m. to 11:18 a.m. for a total of 1 hour and 14 minutes. The date was February 10th, 2025. There was no interpreter. There was no language barrier. The assistant U.S. attorney was Brandon Cruz. Defense counsel was Joshua Luckman. Deputy clerk was Edward Jackson. Pretrial was Estefania Vega Romero and Ebony Henderson Laram. Courtroom number 5D. And it states proceedings, detention hearing. 1. Case called, appearances taking, procedural setting by the court. 2. Defendant advised of the right to remain silent. 3. Proffer from counsel for the government. 4. Government's witness sworn and testified, Ruth Marrero, that was the ICE agent. 5. Counsel for the defendant cross-examined the witnesses. 6. Defendant's witness sworn and testified, Dr. Zadia Brett. 7. Counsel for the government cross-examined the witness. 8. Oral argument presented. 9. Court granted the motion for detention or denied the motion for detention, and the check is by where they granted the motion for detention. And 10. Order of a detention entered. These are the updates I have for you right now. I'm going to immediately get started working on another video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already and become part of the speculating family. I will be following this case, and I am currently following the Madeline Soto case very closely and trying to get all of these updates out for you as soon as possible. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for watching.